Okay, let's try a couple of specific examples with this. Sorry, I'm messing up with my buttons here. Okay, so example, factor 4x squared plus 2x minus 12. Okay, so I need all the ways of factoring 4, and then all the ways of factoring 12. Well, except for one thing. I should always look for a common factor first, and that's why I did this example. Notice that the three terms all have a common factor of 2. So I should factor that out first. Why? Because then there's a lot fewer possibilities to look at when you're trying to factor. Okay, so I factored out the 2. I wrote the result as 2x squared plus 1x minus 6. You don't have to write the 1x if you don't want to. You can just write x. Right, now there's this blue 2 here. There's only one way to factor it, so now that becomes easier. Before, you would have had 2 ways, 1 and 4 and 2 and 2, right? There's also fewer ways to factor 6 than there are 12. So this works out more easily this way. So my two numbers are going to be 2 and 6. I put the minus in front of the 6 because of the minus in front of the 6. See? To tell me that when I do these products, I have to subtract. So I wrote down the different ways of factoring 2 right here, which is only 1. 1 times 2, remember we're just dealing with positive numbers here. And then ways of factoring 6, 1 times 6 or 2 times 3. So I'll have to do this, this, and this. There's 4 possibilities. And see if I can get one to work here. And I just happened to look at it and saw that if I'm subtracting numbers and my middle term is a 1, my middle term is a 1, I just happen to notice that if I do it this way, I get 4 and 3, and those subtract to give 1. See, so I got it right away just by noticing it. But if I didn't notice it right away, I would go through all these this way, this way, this way, right, this way, and then finally get to the answer. So those are the ones that I want, the ones I marked, right? And I'm just showing you that I checked it. I wouldn't normally, I did this in my head, right? 4 minus 3 is 1. So don't forget the 2 from here. Just bring it down. I'm not sure why I didn't make that purple, but okay. And then I'm going to have a 2x and an x. That's obvious because it's the only way to factor 2. 2x and x. Now, one of these is a plus and one's a minus because this is negative, and the product of these two equals negative 6. But I don't know whether the minus goes here or here, so I'll do that last. So I need 2 times what? 2 times 2. So this red 2 goes in the opposite factor of the brown 2. So it goes over here. And then the 3 will go here. Right? And then those give the middle term, and one of these is plus and one is minus. And if I get it wrong, I'll just switch the plus and the minus. But I can see that this one here, 2x times 2 gives me 4x, and 3 times x gives me 3x. I want positive, so I want the 4x to be positive, the larger one. And so I put the plus here. And then that means the minus goes there. And then I check it to make sure. So you multiply it out. So I'm just going to multiply out these two factors to see if I get this. And so I get 2x times x is 2x squared. Yep. The two constants, negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Yep. The middle term, 4x minus 3x is 1x. Bingo. And then if you want to check this one, you just multiply the 2 through and you should get this. Okay. And so I know that that's correct. And so I put that on the computer. I put my answer on the computer. So let's do another example. Now this example, the constant is positive. but the middle term is negative. So that means this being positive means the signs of these are both the same. And since it's a negative, they have to both be negative. So there's only one way to factor 3, which is 3 times 1, and there's only one way to factor 2, which is 1 times 2. So there's only two things to check, which is going straight across or going crosswise. And you're adding. Why are you adding the products? Because this is plus, and you always put that plus there. And so you add. So I can see I get 6 plus 1 is 7. Right? Now, one of those numbers is going to be negative, or, well, actually both of these are going to be negative, and that'll force it to be negative 7. Right now you're just trying to get the right magnitude. So I'm going to go that way. Right? Because that's 7. Right? The 1 goes there, which you don't usually write out. You just write x, and then the 3 went in the other place. And then it's 3 times 2, so 3 and 2 have to be in opposite factors. And then the 1 goes in the space that's left. And they're both minus because negative times negative is positive. But when you do these products here, that'll be negative 6 minus 6x minus x is minus 7x. And then, of course, the x times 3x is 3x squared. Okay? So I hope that helps with this factoring, what the book calls the guess and check. They do this, writing these products horizontally. If you prefer that, that's fine too. I just kind of like doing it this way. Okay, so now the next video will be for part B of this assignment. It's a different method for factoring trinomials.